There once was a king of Babylon named Nebuchadnezzar. One day, the king decided to build a huge statue of himself. He called everyone together and made an announcement.
I made it!
People of all languages, when you hear music, you must bow down and worship this statue. Whoever does not bow down and worship will immediately be thrown into a fiery furnace.
Into the fire!
As soon as all the people heard the music, peoples of all nations and language fell down and worshipped the golden statue that King Nebuchadnezzar set up. A trusted advisor of the king came forward and denounced the Jews. He told the king that there were certain Jewish people who worked for the king who did not serve the king's gods, and they did not worship the golden statue that the king set up. In a furious rage, the king called in the three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The king commanded them to bow down to the statue he had built.
Bow down!
Never!
Yep!
Oh, God.
Yep! Go to fire!
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego looked at each other and replied to the king, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we did not make a mistake, nor will we apologize for not bowing down. If we are thrown into the furnace, the God we worship will save us, and he will rescue us. But even if he doesn't, we want you to know that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up." That made the king even more mad. Right away, he ordered the furnace to be heated up, hotter than it usually was, and commanded some of the strongest soldiers to take Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to throw them in the fire. As the soldiers were pushing the men into the furnace, the flames of the fire killed the soldiers because the fire was so hot. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell into the hot furnace. Then the king jumped to his feet in amazement and asked his advisors, "Weren't there only 3 men thrown into the fire?" They replied, "Oh, yes, king." He said, "Look, I see 4 men walking in the fire, untied and unhurt, and the fourth has the appearance of God." The king then came as close as he could to the furnace and shouted into the doorway, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, follower of the Most High God, come out, come here." So the 3 men walked out of the furnace without any burns, no hairs on their head burned, all their clothes perfectly fine, and no smell of fire on them at all. At that moment, Nebuchadnezzar knew they worshipped a real God